the weather forecast with C3 Production.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have you for another edition of the weather forecast. Trust you had a fruitful Saturday as the entire nation expects calm weather to dominate this evening, though you feel little discomfort due to a heat wave pending in the entire nation. We have a minimum temperature of 13 degrees expected in the Adamo region and the Northwest region, 14 degrees in the West and the North region, and a maximum of 26 degrees in the South region and 25 degrees in the Littoral region. Let's get details now in the Far North region, where clear skies are likely to dominate this evening in the whole region, and the same weather condition is likely to prevail. We will have a minimum temperature of 17 degrees in the morning. Next, let's go to the center region, where it will be partially cloudy in the whole region. This evening, we'll have a minimum of 15 degrees and a drop of 2 degrees in the morning. Let's end now with the east region, where no showers are expected this evening, and the same weather condition is likely to prevail in the morning. We'll have a minimum of 19 degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to go visit the Lobe waterfalls. Have a good night. God bless you.
That was
Coming up tonight, the world today celebrates the radio, a powerful medium and mass media, reaching the widest audience. And right ahead, we meet a radio pioneer in Cameroon. Cameroon's First Lady, through her association CERAC, has donated farm tools and school equipment to the needy in Tuboro in the North region. The details right now. Thanks for watching the 7:30 news on CRTV. I am Moki Edwin Kinzaka in Yaoundé.
I have personally observed that most of our fellow citizens no longer comply with the protective measures prescribed by the government.
Cameroon has joined the international community today to observe World Radio Day under the theme New World, New Radio. CRTV will officially commemorate the event on Monday, February 15, at the Broadcasting House at Lonkak. Staff of CRTV Radio, however, organized a sports walk today in the presence of the Central Director of Radio, George Ewane. We have details of that story with Beatrice Ngom.
Tunes from a traditional medium, the radio, danced by some CRTV radio staff. They are celebrating the tool that connects the CRTV to the rest of the world on a daily basis on World Radio Day.
What sports exercises, as professionals, we spend much of our time at work than at home. So we have a responsibility to love each other, to be united, to be harmonious, and to have the same vision.
After a week on the airwaves with the icons of the yesteryears and thrilling listeners on the evolution of the radio, it's time to stretch out and do some bodybuilding to commemorate the evolution of the radio.
Discovering what we call the corridor of fame, where you have portraits of those whose names matter as far as the radio is concerned in Cameroon. We'll be inaugurating the new newsroom, and we came up with 12 professionals, what we consider to be the best in 2020, and they'll have a cash prize, they'll have a diploma, and they'll have a trophy.
The radio has come of age, evolving with time, adapting to innovations and connecting people across the globe, as this year's theme highlights.
If you have been listening to radio, you may have heard some technical words like jingle. A jingle is a short song or tune used in the newscast by a presenter to announce the content of the news. Lady Grace Mama visited the CRTV Broadcasting House to find out the importance of a jingle to both the presenter and the audience. This is our report.
These
This jingle rings a bell in all Cameroonians that the news is about to start. A jingle is a short song or tune used in the newscast by the presenter to announce the contents of the news.
When you have a jingle in the news, it's to break the news, it's to give the news variety. You know, like we're just coming out of the African Nations Football Championship, and we had a jingle in the news. Now, when you have this jingle, is to call the attention of the listeners that we're going to have a special slot in the news.
It is very important for both the presenter and the audience.
Letting our listeners know that we can always change, we move with the times, that we are not redundant, that we too, you know, we are changing, even though people think that radio is just there and there's nothing new about radio. But those jingles also come, you know, to beautify the news.
Newscasters are for many their main source of information about their community and the world. People want to know they can count on this source to have the real information concerning the country. The opening jingle should usher the audience into the studio with the broadcaster. The closing music might suggest a finality that indicates not only that the program is finished, but the audience can consider the reporting to be the last words on the matter.
Thousands of Cameroonian youths from different socio-cultural backgrounds have celebrated the 88th anniversary of President Paul Biya with pomp and fanfare. They also renewed their commitment for a long and lasting partnership with the President of the Republic. Among the scores of ministers that attended the anniversary celebration at the multipurpose sports complex was Philip Mbargamboa, personal representative of the head of state. Unity Palace correspondent Amin Keng Edward has the rest of that story.
Happy birthday to you, Papa. Happy birthday to
The tradition was respected by the Cameroonian youths, coming together every February 13 to celebrate the life and achievement of the man they affectionately referred to as their champion, mentor and father, President Paul Biya, on his birthday. And the spectacle in speeches, songs, music and dancing displayed at the Yaoundé multi-purpose sports complex was commensurate to the very high esteem and confidence that the youths have for the president. Happy birthday, Mr. President, they chanted repeatedly as their emotions went wild, wishing the president God's abundant blessings and many more years.
Dear beloved Father, we particularly testify our deep gratitude to your determination to defeat us a stable Cameroon, united and thrive in this diversity. Happy birthday, dear beloved Father, Excellency Paul Biya. God may continue to grant you again and always health, insight, long life, and the best of this country, Cameroon.
The rich content of the speeches pronounced by leaders of the different youth associations speak to the degree of affection and partnership existing between the youth and President Paul Biya, as well as their achievements. Enough reason to pledge their constant and unconditional support to an exemplary leader.
all the social strata of Cameroon's youth are gathered here to celebrate yet another birthday that the Lord has graciously bestowed upon you. This bears witness to our gratitude and affection for you.
Some cabinet ministers and distinguished personalities honored the rendezvous. Amongst them was Philip Mbaragambua, minister in charge of special duties at the Presidency of the Republic, personal representative of the head of state, who conveyed to the youth a message of hard work, peace, unity and patriotism from President Paul Biya. As a birthday present to the youth, the head of state offered them a free entry to the musical concert organized by the Congolese musician Fally Ipupa this Saturday in Yaoundé, and an impressive cash package. As the over 2,000 youths sang and danced to the rhythm of Happy Birthday, the appointment was taken for February 13, 2022.
Cameroon's First Lady Mrs. Chantal Biya has donated farm equipment and school material to common initiative groups and educational establishments in Tuboro, Mayorai Division of the North Region. The gifts handed through Mrs. Chantal Biya's association, the Circle of Friends of Cameroon, were distributed today by a delegation led by Mrs. Bello Buba Aminatou. Winston Mingole reports from Garwa.
The excitement of the rural women of Tuboro, Mayorai Division of the North Region, was visible as they received tricycles, wheelbarrows, machetes, and high-heel seats from the First Lady, Mrs. Chantal Biya, to boost agriculture in the locality. The mayor of Tuboro, Celestin Yandal, hailed the humanitarian act of the First Lady, which he said will go a long way to reduce poverty in the area. The educational community was not left out in the largesse of the First Lady, as some public school officials received equipment to encourage learning.
Like a teacher in that field, this is a very great opportunity for us because we are benefiting these gifts not as individuals but for the benefit of the children. And it is going to take us to another level because what we were lacking has been provided by Madame Chantal Biya to us through this delegation. And I want to say that our level in our various institutions is going to take a step.
The colorful occasion brought much joy to the people of Tuboro, who promised to work hard to improve their living conditions.
Senate President Marcel Niat Njifenji has recovered from a long illness. He arrived in Bangante in the West Region yesterday after a stay in Europe for treatment. Calvin Nembo reports that Senator Niat Njifenji received a warm welcome from his family members and supporters.
He has regained his health. His facial expression tells it all. The president of the Senate, Marcel Niat Njifenji, was all smiles when he arrived his native Bangante in the West region. He was given a warm welcome by West Governor Awafonga Augustine, accompanied by his close collaborators, the president of the Regional Council, Jules Hilaire Foka, as well as some members of parliament and municipal authorities.
It's quite a long time. At least 2 months, we did not see him. So we are very happy that God helped him to get health. And so we thank God.
We are very happy. We are very happy to saw the Senate President. I think that he feels better now.
An occasion for the governor of the West region to brief the president of the Senate on recent happenings in the region, including the Chancleaf accident, which claimed the lives of some 55 people.
The Ministry of Finance says it met its 2020 budgetary estimates in spite of Boko Haram terrorists and crisis in the northwest and southwest regions and the spillover of violence in CAR that are affecting the collection of state revenue. The appreciation was made during a video conference meeting of staff of the Ministry of Finance chaired by Minister Louis Paul Motaze. Beatrice Gum reports that the ministry's 2021 plan is to relaunch the economy.
At the annual conference, the Directors General of Budget, of Customs and of Taxation gave a summary of the previous year. They said in spite of the pandemic, they successfully improved on the quality of fiscal and tax recovery services and modernized the customs system in the country.
I congratulated them because the results were quite good. As far as taxes are concerned, as far as customs are concerned, we reached more than 100%. That means that in spite of the fact that the year was quite difficult, we achieved very good results.
The challenge will be to relaunch the economy, and this can only be done in synergy with collaborators.
2021 will be difficult as well. We have to revamp our economy. That means that we have some targets that we should achieve and all should take all the necessary measures so as to reach the goals that have been given to us in the financial bill of the year 2021.
Finance Minister Louis Paul Motaze also gave guidelines to his collaborators on how they can work to promote the post-COVID rebound plan for the country.
Internal auditors and accountants of the Livestock Development Corporation are receiving training on a new or harder accounting system adopted by 17 African states to ensure accountability and governance. The week-long training is chaired by SODEPA's Director General, Denise Kulanya Kutu. Gerard Nanji Eyambe has the rest of that story.
In order to be acquainted with the financial information and the OHADA accounting system, internal auditors and accountants of the Livestock Development Corporation SODEPA have strengthened their capacity on the new standards.
1 week after we started this training of our accountant, we want to go to the new regime of CISCO-OHADA. And really we are happy today to know that people have been trained and now they are here, in terms of applying the new rule in terms of CISCO-OHADA in SODEPA.
The 1 week training constitutes the turning point which will allow SODEPA to reach cruising speed in the presentation of accounts, financial statements, and tax statistical declaration.
The quality of the presentation, the transparency in terms of what we are showing to the public.
Haven't acquired the required pedigree, they are now expected to be the reference framework for the implementation of government policy.
The President of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, Reverend Jeremy Masigams, has called on school children in the Mbam and Inukim division to remember the importance of the no tolerance or campaign that was launched in that part of the country. He was speaking last Tuesday in Yoko while launching the anti-corruption campaign dubbed, "If it is not yours, don't take it." Mr. Masigam said the campaign marks a new phase in the fight against corruption in the country. Bertrand Osomba reports. We are rather sorry we'll be coming back to Bertrand Osomba's report in the course of this newscast if possible, but let's move now to this couple suspected of manufacturing fake whiskey products that has been apprehended by the Lonkak Gendarmerie Brigade. According to officials of the Ministry of Trade, the couple has a manufacturing plant and carried out such illegal deals with the complicity of some wholesalers. Gerard Nanje Yambe tells us more.
Suspects, a couple arrested by the Gendarmerie Brigade of Lonkak for manufacturing and supplying adulterated whiskey and other liquor products. According to an official of the Ministry of Trade, the couple had a manufacturing plant producing and supplying wine with the complicity of some wholesalers in and around the neighborhood. The Ministry of Trade has put to the disposal of the public a toll-free number 1502 for persons to call to report any suspected incidents of fake products. In compliance with the local administration, officials of the ministry have vowed to fight against the phenomenon with their last energy.
The Ministry of the Economy has published a book detailing the procedures for the execution of the public investment budget in 2021. The book is titled Key to Smooth Execution, and it has a complete rundown of the various aspects of the 2021 public investment budget. Luma Slim Davis.
Issues relating to public investment budget may sometimes appear complicated, especially to the layman. To render this subject easily understandable, an 88-page book titled Keys to Smooth Execution has been published by the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development.
This document was produced with the intention to permit actors in the public investment sector to have the necessary tools to function properly. It's a practical document of all those involved in the chain of the public investment process.
The publication deals with the contextual aspects and reference framework for the smooth execution of the PIB, main procedures of execution of PIB projects, as well as ordinary procedures and derogatory procedures for the execution of the PIB projects are also treated, amongst other things, for easy comprehension.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
There has been a steady rise in the number of persons tested COVID-19 positive in Cameroon within the past 2 months. Many people are worried as to an eventual outbreak of a new wave of the virus, especially the South African strain, which has spread across 30 countries. Bodin Sama is at the Public Health Emergency Center with Dr. Joseph Fokam with updates of the new strain of COVID-19. Bodin, over to you.
Good evening to you, Monkey Edwin Kinzeka. Most of us got scared when we talked about a new strain of the virus in Africa, the South African strain. Getting scared that it may get to Cameroon about several weeks after. Where are we with this South African strain for the COVID-19? We discuss that tonight with our guest, Dr. Joseph Fokam, who is a virologist. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Sama.
Where are we with the much talked about South African strain of the COVID-19?
Effectively, Mr. Sama, what we have realized is COVID-19 during this second wave is changing very rapidly. And even before the South African strain, we now know that in about 70 countries and territories worldwide, we already have the British strain, which is the most transmissible strain that we have actually worldwide. Then secondly, also we have the South African strain, which actually circulates in about 31 countries and territories. Then we also have the recently Brazilian strains, currently found in already 8 different countries. And from what we know now, also the virus needs like 45 days to be able to mutate and maybe gain a new variability. And so actually, the major challenge is to know if in Cameroon, do we also have similar strains? Actually, we are conducting studies to know which particular strains do we have within our context. But for assurance, in Cameroon, we are using the testing method that detects 2 different viral targets. And for that reason, even if we have a variant, our diagnostic approach is still going to be able to detect.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for all those explanations. We simply have to adhere to all these outlined barrier measures so as to avoid a possibility of a new strain of the virus getting to Cameroon in the days ahead. Back to you, Monkey Edwin Kinzeka.
Thanks, Bodin Sama. Health officials in the Northwest have disclosed that more than 100 COVID-19 cases have been diagnosed in the region within the past few weeks. The regional delegate for public health has warned that the figures represent a disturbing pattern. Dr. Kingsley Che convened a crisis meeting in Bamenda as you tell us all like Titanki.
Hand washing, physical distancing, and mask-wearing rules have been largely ignored by the population of the Northwest region. This outright disregard for COVID-19 preventive measures have resulted in the rating of the region by the regional delegate of public health as a COVID-19 red zone.
We are treating 173 who are active cases. We've lost 81 persons. If you look at the case fatality rate, that gives us something around 7.5%, which is very high compared to the 1.5%, which is the national value.
In a swift and decisive response, authorities in the region have announced drastic measures, including massive COVID-19 testing in schools and other public spaces in all the 19 health districts of the region.
We are going to take severe and important decisions to oblige the population to respect the barrier measure.
The public health delegate has requested for the full collaboration of the public to contain the threat posed by the COVID-19 pandemic in the Northwest.
Close to 4,000 youths drawn from the different zones that make up the Archdiocese of Yaoundé are meeting in a 2-day camp together at the St. Peter and Paul's Anglophone Parish at Simbok in the nation's capital. The Diocesan Youth Day is organized under the theme, I will give you a new heart, drawn from Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 26. Gerard Nanji Eyambe was there.
Converging on the St. Peter and Paul Anglophone Parish Simbok Yaoundé, these young Catholic faithful are undergoing spiritual and moral rearmament.
Youths are the foundation of the church, and for us to build a better church, we need to lay a good foundation. We expect that youth will go back home morally fit to see how they can face the challenges that they encounter in their daily lives, educating them about the importance of being in Catholic Church.
They have, first of all, to think about themselves, their faith in God, their relationship with God.
Organized under the theme, I will give you a new heart, is reflected in the different activities, such as adoration, praises, and even cultural animation.
To live goodly in society, to live in the unity, to live in charity.
We discovered that many of our young people go astray. They go to other religions because they are not yet rooted in their own faith, because they don't take that, they have not received the faith in their heart. They have received it in their head and in the mouth, but they are not yet settled in their heart. Following those words of Ezekiel, we will be able to touch the heart of our young people. We will be able to transmit that love and that mercy to our young people, so that in that same line, following the steps of Jesus, they will live the compassion that Jesus lived among his people, giving life to others, bringing hope to other people.
The Diocesan Youth Day, which wraps up this Sunday with a pontifical mass, is in prelude to the World Youth Day, celebrated on Palm Sunday each year.
The Mohatidini Islamic Cultural Association has thanked Allah for his grace in the successful training of some young people and recently converted Muslim faithful. Their annual glorification ceremony was held in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Let's now listen to the president of the Mohatidini Islamic Cultural and Development Association.
Islam is not a religion usually reserved for other people of the country. For instance, me, I'm from the Banjul land. Yes, I've learned Islam, and I want that people should also follow me and do like me, should also learn Islam. I've learned Islam, for instance, the consequences for someone that have learned the Quran and then abandon or forget, learn the pillars of Islam, for instance.
It is only to promote the living together and culture of the peace. We want to recognize Allah for your goodness. We do it to we and pray for peace of Cameroon. It is very important.
The government of Cameroon has paid last respects to a departed indomitable lion on an bed. The Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Malekombi, and the Governor of the Littoral Region, Samuel Dieudonné Vahadiboa, joined colleagues and family members to mourn the former lion in the nation's economic capital city. Veronica Benyala reports.
Norbert Onana may have left the stage of the drama of life in a less glorious way. However, his name remains a household name. The government of the Republic of Cameroon, according to the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Mr. Malekombi, will be forever grateful for the sacrifices he made to carry the positive name of country high as part of the 1972 Lions squad. The minister said, on the wake of the organization of a beautiful football jamboree like the Shan, paying homage to Norbert Onana is also a reminder of the glorious days of 1972. Present around the casket of Norbert Onana were former teammates like Joseph Antoine Bell and Gassahat, living legends of Cameroon football. Joseph Antoine Bell remembers Norbert Onana as a big brother he met in Union Sportive of Douala, who later joined the national team in 1970 and was part of the 1972 Lions squad who played the first ever AFCON games organized by Cameroon. The convoy carrying the casket of Norbert Onana was walked through the streets of New Bell to his final resting place.
Senators of the Central Region have organized a special mass in the nation's capital to pay tribute to President Paul Biya as he celebrates his birthday today. The officiating priest, His Lordship Jean Barga, Archbishop of the Yaoundé Archdiocese, called on senators to use their wisdom to accompany the head of state as he pilots the affairs of the nation. Charles Anyangwe has the rest of that story.
It was at the residence of Senator Sylvestre Na Ondoa in the Bastos neighborhood in Yaoundé that senators of the Central Region, together with other senators and friends, congregated to celebrate the anniversary of President Paul Biya through this special Thanksgiving Mass officiated by the Metropolitan Archbishop of Yaoundé, His Lordship Jean Mbarga.
This special day, the 13th of February, is a special one because it's the date of the anniversary of our head of state, the President Paul Biya. So it was normal to pray for him, to intercede for him, that God may continue to keep him with us, save his wisdom, and give us strength to continue to serve the nation.
In his homily, the Archbishop of Yaoundé used the anniversary of President Paul Biya to celebrate the new year, calling on senators to use their wisdom to promote peace and to accompany the head of state in the accomplishment of his mission. A senator from the Southwest region was very happy to be part of the anniversary celebration.
Because the head of state is piloting things in the rightful direction, we should all join in prayer to pray for more achievements.
The Mass was crowned by the administration of the Sacrament of Holy Communion.
And that ends the 7:30 news on CRTV. Join Atta Badinuma in exactly 30 minutes for the news in the French language. I am Moki Edwin Kinzeka in Yaoundé. Thanking you for watching.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.